Hello and welcome to the Climbing Daily Wednesday news show. Before we get started, I wanted to point out that Teresa is standing on a bouldering mat.
No, my legs just grew overnight.
You're just worryingly tall to me, and I'm a short man.
I'm just taller.
So it has been a long time since we saw an IFSC comp, but this weekend the IFSC returned. Briancon in France was the location of the return of the IFSC. A crowd was allowed to watch, but strict coronavirus regulations were in place. In the women's comp, it was France's Fanny Gibert who won her first lead IFSC medal with a bronze. Great to see her step up her lead climbing game. Slovenia's Janja Gambret and Italy's Laura Rogora went head-to-head for the gold medal. Janja is no stranger at fighting for the win, and she topped out the route in style. However, that wasn't enough for the win, as Laura Rogora still had a chance. All she needed to do was top the route and win due to the countback to the semi-finals. It was a lot of pressure, but Laura is on a fine run of form at the moment. She climbed brilliantly, finishing the route, and took her first senior IFSC lead comp win. For the men, it was Austria's Jakob Schubert who took the bronze medal. He built on his success at the Austria Summer Series Cup and battled hard to climb high up the route. Slovenia's Domen Skofic was going to take time off this season, but the delay in comps due to corona meant he had his break and could still return. He came close to topping out the route before falling and taking the silver medal. Whenever Adam Ondra competes, you sort of expect to see him somewhere on the podium. He climbed well all weekend and was the last climber out to perform. He put it all together, topping out the route and adding another gold to his collection. Great to see competition climbing back on YouTube, back in the news. Of course, we had the Austria Summer Series to sort of tide us over, but this is the first World Cup. Pretty cool. Did you watch it?
I watched it live.
Did you actually?
Yeah, with my little sister, who now...
Did you actually? Of course you did.
I didn't watch it live. I watched it in hindsight.
I turned it on and Janja started up. So I was like, good timing.
Ooh, nice.
That is good timing.
Yeah.
It's good to see Laura up there. She's been threatening to do that for a while, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good to see her finally doing it.
Oh, and the next day she did like a 9A.
In 3 goes, right?
In 3 goes, just casually.
Is that news or is that just like casually just doing it
I mean,
on the side?
it's like 9A counter, but...
Okay, we'll leave it to
It
later
is,
then.
but that's a good point, because like usually this would be news, and yet we're sort of like, also Laura did another 9A in 3 days. It's all good.
In one day,
Yeah.
amazing. Right, next up we've got some cool news from Nico Favres and Sebastian Bert. Belgian climbers Sebastian Bert and Nico Favres have completed their Alpine trilogy, after having climbed their latest multi-pitch ascent End of Silence 8B+ in the Berchtesgaden Alps. The trilogy consists of 3 8B+ multi-pitch routes which represented the pinnacle of hard multi-pitch climbing in the 90s. The 3 routes are End of Silence, established by Alexander Huber in 1994, there's Kaisers Nukleider, established by Stefan Glauwitsch in the Wilde Kaiser Massif in Austria, and Silbergeier in Switzerland's Ratikon, put up by Beacht Kamalander. The pair are the first climbers to do the trilogy in a single summer after reaching each of the mountains by bike whilst on their zero COT bike and dog expedition. Okay, so another Belgian pair of strong climbers. I'm thinking of Nico Favres and Sean Villeneuve-Rogiscool, which is the normal partnership.
True.
This time, Nico Favres obviously needed something a little bit fresh.
Have they broken up?
I don't know.
Gossip.
That is gossip.
Oh my gosh.
There
We
you
should
go.
have a gossip section to the show. I've been advocating it for years. It would be perfect, but I'm going to... Whatever.
Anyway, I like to always think of Nico Favres as like, you know, you kind of like, he's the guy, he's the joker, he's the laugher.
Yeah.
But this shows like what a good climber he is, and Sebastian Bert as well. So good job, guys. And CO2 free as well, which is top draw.
And about impressive multi-pitches, somebody sent an 8C rope solo in the Dolomites. Polish climber Lukasz Dudek made a rope solo ascent of Panorama, first established in 2007 by Alexander Huber. The route goes through the Great Roof up the north face of Cima Ovest di Lavaredo, with difficulties up to 8C. He worked the route in July, and on the 7th of August, he started climbing at 9 a.m. and topped out the route on Cima Ovest at 2 a.m. In order to prepare for the ascent, he started making several rope solo ascents, even a first ascent of an 8C sport climb called Kore at the crag Biblioteka in Poland.
You butchered those names.
I realized.
And
I'm
they're
sorry.
Italian names.
No. I feel like she got the Italian
They're
one
not
right,
Italian
but-
names.
Yes.
Which ones did you butcher?
Oh,
Cima.
No, Cima, that's Italian, but like Lucas.
Oh, his name?
Yeah, his name.
Yeah, we never do that, me and Hugo.
Yeah, exactly.
We are
We're
perfect.
not hypocrites. So, but anyway, did you see the photo? I probably came up when you were telling that story.
Yes.
Of the one where the guy's got the moon in the background.
Yes,
That's insane.
Pretty cool.
Cool, right?
But yeah,
a
I
lot
mean,
of flash.
I just wonder he did a rope solo, so they went back and took the pictures, I suppose.
No, that was on the warm up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he worked it and then he went back and did it.
Oh, okay.
So that was a warm up. But yeah, nice moon.
Yes.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, climber Matio Pasquetto has tragically lost his life. He just put up a new route on the east face of the Grand Duras, and it's been repeated almost like a tribute to him. Federica Mengola and Leo Getza have made the first repeat of Il Giovane Guerriero. It's a hard route with 7B plus to 7C trad climbing on it. The route has almost no fixed gear or bolted belays, making it a very clean and natural line. Federica was friends with Matio and sees their repeat as almost a way of saying goodbye to him. She was quoted to have said, "The intimacy of skin touching rock is something wonderful, and the fact that a few days ago earlier you were stroking these same holds brought us closer to you." So Federica Mengola having a pretty good alpine summer season, really. She's been repeating hard route. Lovely to see that because, Mattia was her friend. He died. She went back, repeated the route for him almost. And a heck of an achievement and a lovely way to say goodbye to him.
Okay, next up we've got news of an Austrian legendary climber. The legendary Austrian climber Heinz Mariacha has become the 8th recipient of the Paul Price Award. Heinz, who is currently the climbing shoe category manager at Scarpa, set new standards in the 70s and 80s with his daring solo ascents of some of the most difficult routes in Europe. He is and was a forward thinker, and his free solo ascent of Via Conforto Bartoldi was revolutionary in its style and manner. After doing some bouldering near the bottom of the route, he decided at 2 in the afternoon to climb the 800-meter route, completing it in 4 hours. From mountaineering, he went on to embrace sport climbing and established many of the hard routes in and around Arco in the 1980s. After his collaboration with La Sportiva to create the Mariacha, he changed the climbing shoe game and continues to do so at Scarpa. Yeah, so this is Heinz Mariacha. He's a bit of a legend. It's interesting, that award, because it's like there's 8, like it's more kind of an alpinist, like mountaineering type of award. But he kind of started off like doing that back in the 70s and 80s when that was kind of like the norm. And then he was like one of the guys kind of spearheading the sport climb movement. And that shoe, the Mariacha, I had to read up a little bit about it, but that like, everybody used to climb in EB shoes, and apparently they're just like really horrible. We had to make them really tight and they had to be super uncomfortable in order to work. He brought that out and changed everything.
It's interesting because everyone talks about Heinz. Like Scarpa talk about him all the time, and I knew he was this like design figure. I had no idea he was that much of a soloist and did all those routes until you said it. So he's got such a pedigree to back up his shoe designs,
Yeah, it's
which
amazing.
is pretty cool.
It's amazing. I started reading about him, and then I was like, I had like all the old pictures of him. I was like, this guy's pretty cool. And then I started going, I know the name. And then I went to his Scarpa profile, and I was like, we filmed with him.
Did you know his name because of Heinz baked beans?
Heinz, I recognise the name Heinz.
Yeah.
Yes. When somebody says Heinz, I think of good stuff.
They make a great ketchup as well. Yeah.
And I'm sure kids enjoy ketchup because we're talking about young kids that Matt hates.
Excellent link.
There we go.
Excellent link. Very good. Very good.
Just crushing 8 A's all over the place. 12-year-old Italian climber Matteo Reusa has done his first 8C, 7 p.m. JP showed. While on the same holiday, his older brother, Michele, who is 13, has done his second 8C, Hot Chili X. So we've been talking about Alex Huber a lot, and I feel...
He put up a lot of stuff.
No, but I feel these two little brothers are gonna become like the next Huber brothers.
Okay, what are they called? The Reuser brothers.
The Reusa.
Rauser.
Wowza.
Are they Italian?
Yes.
Okay.
dal Piemonte.
They've got some big shoes to fill, if that's the case.
But 8C
long
at
hair
the
to
age
grow.
of like 13.
It's true, yeah. That is true, yeah. 8Cs at 13, it's a good start, isn't it? It's me now, and sport climbing news, and specifically, of course, hard sport climbing news. Solveig Korra has done her third 8C+, a route called La Cabine au Paradis. The route took her 3 days to send, with perfect cool conditions coming in on that final day. On the day she sent the route, she also climbed Paradis Natural, an 8B+, and has her eye on a 9A. Knocking on the door of the 9A counter there, future potential for sure. She worked a few routes, got that one done eventually. Nice one, and apologies because I definitely said your name wrong. Like I definitely did, didn't I? Solveig Korra? Maybe I said it right. I don't know.
right. I
The
think
guys
it's
will
okay.
comment. They'll let me
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
But about easier names, Mia Krampel has sent a bunch of 8As in Magic Wood. Slovenian climber Mia Krampel, who we usually see at IFSC World Cups, this summer instead took a trip to Magic Wood. In just a couple of days, she sent 3 8As and the famous boulder problem, Jack's Broken Heart, 8A+. Didn't you want to try that boulder?
Yes, I wanted to try. Jack's Broken Heart was my project for the summer, and everyone is doing it, and I'm not pissed off or gutted or crying at all.
Always next summer.
9B counter?
9A counter.
Okay, a lot of people are saying they like the digital version of the 9A counter, but of course we're still continuing the paper version, mainly so we can give it away in competition at the end of the year. But 9A women's, Laura Ragora, did you already add it in?
No, I added in a very straight line.
Ah, God, see the problem. Okay, I'm gonna add it in on the end. All right, I'm gonna put a little one.
Yes.
Is it one? There we go.
Yes, she's on 9 points.
She is killing it. Look at that. You can't. There's no point showing you because it's on screen, but she's killing it. That's it. I got no 9Bs, no 8Cs, no E10s.
Did we miss something?
We probably missed E10. I feel like we've missed an E10. Let us
Does
know.
people to get like a 9A for climbing a bit of silence?
You should do.
Oh,
But he's not a woman, so he can't go on the 9A counter.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Next up, we've got medias. Medias are very interesting because we all like watching medias. And when we got a spare 10 minutes, we should watch this little video. This was an interview we did with Abby Dion from Coral Cliffs. Here's a little clip.
My initial internal reaction was one of resistance because I've done the gym for 9 years, not really asking for any help. I am the sole owner. I've just made it work. They then said to me, listen, if you're uncomfortable with this, I'm happy to take it down. But if you are someone who recognizes when someone you care about is glowing and resonating, you just realize that you need to get out of the way. And that's what I did, despite my internal and initial reactions.
So do you know who Abby Dion from Coral Cliffs is?
see.
You do?
Yeah, I follow her on Instagram.
Cool. Then
Yes.
everybody else should follow her on Instagram as well. So we'll put her link in the description. Needless to say, it's a very cool story. You can watch the full episode to get the full story. Shop stuff.
Shop stuff indeed. So Ill is so dope. That's what I got told to say
sick.
by the kids. So Ill, it's an American brand. They do those kind of funky looking shoes, I'm going to say. They're very good. They kind of do like more beginner shoes all the way up to advanced shoes, and they're back in stock. So if you've had a craving for So Ill, do not despair because it's there. It's in the shop. Link down below. All the rest, grab yourself some cool shoes. That was a
Monochrome
compact
shoes.
shop thing, wasn't it?
Yes.
Very compact.
Very compact.
Should we talk about comment of the week?
We should do, which means we should sing, shouldn't we?
Teresa, this is your
Allora.
moment.
Is it?
This is your moment.
No, die, guys. I don't want to take this away from you.
I'm just going to trumpet it up for you a little bit, and then you can go for it, because I feel like we're some kind of a band setup. Maybe we're a boy band setup.
With a go.
Yeah, with a girl. We should key change in the middle of this and just like stand up.
Let's just get it done. Go.
Bravi, raga. Grandi.
Who's going first? Go.
Alex says, me, seeing Teresa during the Perron's Traverse. Hi Teresa, I recognize you from climbing daily. Teresa, just starting the rappels. I'm about to shit my pants.
I did say hi first.
So, talk about this. We were actually on a route together. We were climbing this ridge. You said hello to a fan, and then you informed the fan that you were very scared of the rappels.
Yeah, I mean, by then I accepted my fate, but like still, you know, when you look down, it's like bottomless pit. I mean, okay, you were down and
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't.
but like
yourself, because then it would have landed on me. So anyway, if Alex and your partner, lovely to see you on the route, and I apologise for my co-presenter's potty mouth.
I mean,
Come on, potty mouth,
whatever. I don't have a comment. Do you have a comment? I'm
Yes,
looking for
I do. Right. Jesse Dufton says, Hugo, if you want to come aid climbing with me, you're always welcome. I have a spare blindfold. This was me last week talking about Jesse Dufton having a bit of aid because he was blind, and so he couldn't see the bottom of the. He couldn't see the fall. So the fear factor was diminished.
You were saying it makes it easier for him to climb his routes.
That's exactly what I said.
Right.
I was joking.
Right.
But
I feel you're gonna take up the invite.
I feel like Jesse, if I'm in the same area as you, Jesse, I will come along and I'll blindfold myself and I'll climb up something.
I think that's a great idea for a show.
Oh,
We're climbing with Jesse, we do some classics, we go blindfolded, he goes blindfolded, it'd be awesome.
He doesn't, okay. He doesn't kind of need to go blindfolded.
No, he doesn't. That's true. Okay,
Can I
fine.
just
He
take
goes
out-
normal, we go blindfolded, it's going to be brilliant.
Right, you go on.
Yes, about aid climbing, Yandra Butterflika
Great name.
said, Hugo's been active on climbing circle jerk, where breathing is aid. And I picked this comment just because there's a really good Reddit thread about it, or like Reddit
About me?
page. No, about climbing stuff.
Climbing circle jerk.
But it's like funny.
The reply comes in saying, on climbing circle jerk, everything is aid, from the pink one in the corner to an 8B in your gym.
Ecco.
Should we get involved in climbing circle jerk? Let us know. Is this a regular thing?
Another thing.
All the things. I think that is all the things, though. I think we've covered all the things.
Weekends.
Weekends, true. But before we do weekend chat, I just want to say, if you're watching, please subscribe to our channel. Podcasters, if you're listening, thank you very much. Leave us a 5-star review.
And if video people, if you're watching, you'll notice there's a different setup, but we didn't think we'd want to mention it because...
No, you said specifically don't mention it.
Yeah, and
Right.
now I've mentioned it.
Right.
The lucky people at the end of the show.
You just wanted to mention it, didn't you? You just held this back. Weekends.
I have a weekend coming up and I'm going to use it
Nice.
fruitfully.
Nice. Teresa, you going to use your weekend?
I guess.
There we go. And I also guess. Thank you very much, everyone. We will see you next week.
Au revoir.
Bye.